What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and firstly, I know this is not Fortnite gameplay, and I know you're probably wondering what is going on in the background or whatever, but I've been playing Destiny, okay? Lightfall released, I've been having some fun messing around with Strand and stuff, so I decided I'm just going to use it as the background gameplay for today's video while, we talk about everything there is to talk about, which today I just want to talk about, a pretty simplistic topic, something that isn't, too crazy, but also something that is, relevant in terms of Fortnite news and stuff, and it's just how Epic Games has been treating the loot pool towards the very end of the season. As you guys know, Epic Games has been doing a lot of stuff with the loot pool, such as, the Most Wanted event, where we had a whole entire situation of, here's a million different items, you haven't seen them forever, added back to the game, use them, mess around with them, have some fun, and then we saw other stuff going down as well, right? Other than that, we saw them, vaulting all that stuff after the event ended, and then instantly right afterwards, starting more events, right? They started the whole entire Cypher questline event, they started the Creed quest, there was just a lot of quests and stuff that went down after Most Wanted ended, and it felt like at least towards the very end of the season there's been a lot to do in the game. However, something that I found interesting is how they've been treating the final few updates, because if anyone remembers, at the very start of Chapter 4 Season 1, those Oathbound chests, the ones that you could get the Shockwave Hammer and stuff from a lot more often, those actually had a 100% spawn chance, right? So you were able to find them every single chance you wanted, and then they dropped it down to either 30% or 70%. I'm forgetting which one they actually did, but they did not make it 100% anymore, right? They made it so it was more less likely for you to actually find these in a match, and it was an interesting change because they didn't really ever announce it or anything. It just kind of happened out of the blue, and the only way people actually found out about it was if they followed leakers like me over on Twitter. Well, for some reason, out of the blue, at the very end of this season, with the update that released that added the whole Cypher questline and everything, they had actually made a post and stated that, hey, those Oathbound chests until the end of the season now have a 100% spawn chance again. So it's like, why did they give it a 100% spawn chance at the very start of the season, only to take that away and then at the very end of the season bring it back, right? It was like, did they not intend this originally? Were they just trying to be generous now? Did they, there's a lot of questions asked about it, but I did think it was just kind of a weird way for Epic Games to handle the situation. But it's not only the Oathbound chest, because earlier today, Epic Games made an entire Fortnite status tweet where they just said, hey, the ice coolers, the coolers that contain, little healing items and stuff, we've decided that those are 100% enabled and they'll spawn way more often, right? Just out of nowhere, they're just like, yep, we've decided this is what we're going to do. We're just going to make it so you can find these all over the place instead of there being a chance for them to, be spawnable in certain areas or whatever else. My bad for dying there, of course. And it's just weird to see how they've decided to do all this stuff very last minute. Because if we look at it, right, the time this video is being made is the 3rd. The season ends on the 8th. So we have 5 days of the season left. And we just have all these good changes that would have been nice to have for a lot longer because they're kind of more of just, quality of life things that it seems like Epic Games just kind of did as a last minute bonus, right? To keep people playing the game at the very end of the season or something like that. And it's just kind of odd, right? It's just kind of off to me in a way. Of course, it's a nice thing, right? I shouldn't be complaining about a nice thing. And I don't mean to sound like I'm ungrateful for anything because, it's really cool to see these changes happening. But it's like, why did Epic Games, originally already do this at the start of the season, nerf it right during the first update of the season or whatever, and then decide at the very end of the season, in the final week of this season being around, they're like, yep, we're bringing these back. We're going to act like this is a feature. We're going to act like this is a brand new thing that we have not done before yet. And it's just like, look how generous we are, us Epic James peoples, or whatever you want to call it. Look how generous we are. We decided to grace you with a lot more loot in your matches. And it's like, either way, it doesn't really change that much. Of course, there's some spots that you'll actually be able to benefit from with these changes, such as, if I remember correctly, there's one area off to the side of the map, the left side, where you can drop there and there's 3 chest spawns. And now that's 3 guaranteed Oathbound chest spawns whenever you're playing. So it's like, sure, there are some good areas to drop at now that weren't as useful before because of the RNG chance, but at the same time, I just kind of really get intrigued to see how Epic Games makes these micro adjustments to their game, right? How they make these micro changes and stuff to just kind of, make there be some form of content towards the very end of a season when there isn't really that much going on. But I can't really even say there isn't that much going on, because if we pay attention to everything that's been happening with Fortnite, there's definitely been a lot going on, right? I mean, if we really think about it, We've had Creed, we've had, you know, the Witcher collaboration, we've had School of Llama, we've had Post Party, we've had so much happening that it just felt like there's been a million collaborations and a million things to get XP, get your quest done and everything else. And this is probably the highest rank I've ever been in a Fortnite season without having any like XP glitches or anything happening, right? Now keep in mind, I did buy 100 tiers because of course I did, you know, it's my money, I'm gonna end up spending it like how I want to or whatever else. But even with me buying 100 tiers, I'm like level 470 or something in Fortnite right now, because it just feels like, you know, with the level up quest pack, with all these different quests that just in general keep showing up all the time and everything else going on, that there's always a way to gain levels, right? And even if there isn't any quests to do left because you've already done all the Cypher quests or whatever else it might be, it feels like there's always something to do, because you also have creative mode, right? You can go in creative, you can do those quests, you can just have some fun there, and it just feels like there's been so much crammed into the season, at least towards the very end, that they've been making a lot of good changes, right? And maybe I'm just being suspicious because it's like, Epic Games is doing a lot of stuff allowing me to level up. They're doing a lot of stuff that makes the game, like, you know, more like something I want to continue to play right now because of all these small changes and everything else going on. So there's obviously some secret meaning behind it all, right? It's obviously there's something going on here. There's some sinister plan happening behind the scenes or something, when in reality, none of that's happening, right? It's just kind of Epic Games making these small little changes. So I thought for today's video, I'll just kind of ramble on about it for a little bit and hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think about the random changes? What do you think about Epic Games doing stuff like making it so those ice boxes actually have 100% spawn chance, Oathbound chests have 100% spawn chance, you know, they're doing all these weird things. And I mean, even right now, despite the heisted weapons being vaulted, you can still get them from the key lock chest. So it's like they're still technically here, just a lot more rarer, and it's just interesting to see all these slight changes here and there. But with that said, my name is FireMonkey. Hope you champs and champions enjoyed this short little video just kind of talking about some recent changes Epic Games has been doing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another upload. Peace out.